Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook. Now, once again, Bob Arum is having the painstaking task of trying to negotiate this with Eddie Hearn. He first threw out a proposal of $1.5 million for Kell, just to be able to compete for the opportunity to win Terence Crawford's WBO 147-pound title. Eddie Hearn just threw it back and said, no, it's not even close. We're not even in the ballpark. So Arum came back with $2 million, and he said, well, that's a bit closer, mate, but, we've got to work harder. And your thoughts on this, Gogue? Once again, this is during a pandemic. If the fight takes place in Omaha or anywhere in America, Kell Brook may be a superstar in the UK, but he is a nobody in America. Do you think $2 million is reasonable during this time?
What the hell has Kell Brook been doing since he got his ass whooped by Golovkin and Errol Spence? Nothing. He's insignificant. I mean, shit. You know what I mean? What has he been doing? His last fight, he looked like shit, and I haven't seen him fight since. He hasn't been active. He's not the same fighter, Joe. He's not the same fighter since he got that ass whooping from Golovkin. Okay.
Well, not only that, he hasn't competed at 147 pounds since he got his ass whooped by Errol Spence.
Yeah.
He's been competing at 154 pounds.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm just scratching my head at Eddie Hearn. Is he trying to be an obstructionist? Is he trying to stand in the way of these great matchups being made?
Joe, the old saying in boxing, when fighters or promoters start outpricing themselves, that means they really don't want to fight, okay?
Well, it's hard to disagree with you, but just in case this is being made for November 14th, we're going to go through with your analysis and final prediction. Guys, let's rattle off the tell the tape for Terence "Bud" Crawford. He's going to be entering the ring. Let's see, he is turning 33 on the 28th of this month, so he's going to be entering the ring at age 33. He fights, well, out of the orthodox and the southpaw stance. He stands in the center of the ring at 5'8" tall. He fights behind a 74-inch reach from Omaha, Nebraska. Terence "Bud" Crawford has a perfect record at 36 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 27 big wins coming by way of knockout. And this would serve, Gogue, as Terence Crawford's 4th title defense of that WBO title. So what are the strengths and weaknesses, if you can find any, of Terence "Bud" Crawford, sir?
His strengths, probably the game's premier, most versatile fighter. Why? He could box right-handed effectively, and he could box left-handed effectively. But what makes him so effective, Joe, he does it with equal skill level from both stances. And the number one weapon in boxing is the jab, okay? He throws it with equal skill and equal high level of boxing IQ from both stances, Joe. He's a natural chameleon. He knows how to make adjustments in the ring, okay? At the drop of a dime. What do you call it, Joe? He's just a multi-dimensional fighter, Joe. Makes it so difficult for his opponents to figure him out because, like I said, Joe, when he's fighting in the right-handed stance, he'll box you beautiful. Get that jab established. Control range and distance. Counter you beautifully. But if you feel that his opponent is getting momentum started, he'll switch stances to the southpaw position to stop your momentum and box you from the southpaw position, which is totally, different. Punches coming from different angles. But the thing is, Joe, he's very effective at using his jab from the southpaws. And picking you apart, landing the straight left hands, the counter right hooks, and once he gets you going and you're slowing down, that's when he likes to take it inside and start breaking you down with body shots and everything. Just Joe, not only the most versatile in his skill sets, but probably one of the top 3 fighters boxing IQ wise in the game. Yeah, he's just like I said, Joe, multi-dimensional fighter from both stances. High boxing IQ. He knows how to use his skill level stances, and he knows how to make those adjustments on a drop of a dime, Joe. He's tough out, Joe. And Kell Brook is going to get his ass whooped.
Oh, my goodness. And, not only all of those attributes that you just named from a technical perspective, he's got the strongest mental resolve, I think, in boxing other than Tyson Fury, possibly. This is a gentleman who always is calm and relaxed and truly believes he is the best fighter in the sport.
Yep.
Talk about the mental awareness and how strong Terence Crawford is.
Composure and poise. No matter how tough the fight gets in there, no matter how bad it's raining in there, he's always calm and cool. Thinking, making adjustments. See, Joe, remember we talked about last week, being relaxed, staying loose. The more relaxed you are, the more calm your mind is. The more calm your mind is, the better your ability to think and adapt and make adjustments. And that's what Terence Crawford is. Okay, him and Ward have the ability, him and Ward have the ability to control range and distance as good as anyone in boxing. Floyd Mayweather and this new kid coming up, Shakur Stevenson. Okay, them are the four fighters I've seen in the last 20 years that have that, unique ability to control range and distance. They do it. They have a game plan and they stick to that game plan and they don't get flustered. Okay, and that's their main thing, Joe. Control range and distance. Okay, break your fighter down mentally. And Joe, the guy has, he had, like I said, Joe, this fight coming. If this fight happens, it's going to be one guy playing chess and one guy playing checkers. Okay, the guy playing chess is a grandmaster. The guy playing checkers is going to get his ass whooped. You know who we're talking about.
Well, Gogue, maybe you can shed some light on this because this was a head scratcher. For some strange reason, it's become en vogue among diehard fight fans to criticize Bud Crawford, saying that his resume at 147 pounds sucks, and they think that that's an indictment that maybe Bud is a protected fighter or is not as good as the critics say he is.
Yeah.
I can't understand that logic, and to me, it's just a bunch of nonsense, especially when you consider he just won the title by knocking out Jeff Horn, the guy who defeated Manny Pacquiao to win the title, in 2018. And he's had two mandatory title defenses in Jose Benavidez Jr. and Igas Velasquez, in which they were both undefeated fighters, and he knocked them out within the distance. And then obviously his voluntary, he stopped Amir Khan. So he's only had 3 title defenses, all ending in knockout. Every single fight at 47 up to this point has resulted in a resounding and decisive knockout. Yet this guy gets considered gets criticized probably more than anyone in the sport currently. Do you have any idea why?
Because, look, you can't blame him. PBC got the top welterweights. I mean, they got a lot of big names, but Al don't want to cross the fence and bring his guys over, okay? It's Al. He's the biggest obstructionist. Em don't mind making a deal, but it's Al, okay? Al has been the biggest obstructionist in boxing since he got into business, okay? He's a control freak, okay? He's a promoter. He controls the TV. He controls the promoter, and, he determines who fights and who doesn't fight and how much you get paid and everything. He does everything. He skims the laws of the Muhammad Ali Act, but he gets it done, okay? And smart man, though. He's a smart man. If I had to do a business, Dana does the same thing, but at least Dana puts the best fights on possible for the fans. Al doesn't do that. So, I know Porter. He's a good man, a good fighter. He's a real he'd fight Crawford in a heartbeat. Spence and all them guys, but someone's always holding it up, and that's Al Heyman because he has his agenda. Like I said, Joe, the sport's very fractured. There's too many promoters with their own agendas, okay, and very rare that you have these guys want to work with each other.
Yeah, it's hard to fault Terence Crawford when you've got a guy like Keith Thurman and Al sends over a contract requesting a mandatory or a guaranteed $10 million just to step in the ring with TC. He didn't even make $10 million when he fought Manny Pacquiao, Gogue. When has he ever made $10 million?
Like I said, Joe, when they start overpricing themselves, that means they really don't want the fight. It's all bullshit. It's all a bluff.
Well, I tell you what, let's go back to the tail of the tape. Gogue, now you mentioned all of Terence Crawford's many strengths. Do you see any weaknesses in his arsenal?
I seen him get hurt, by Gamboa. Got wobbled a little, you know what I mean? His inside game is not, really great. I mean, he'll fight inside, Joe. Like when he breaks you down and he knows you're not going to throw back, and he'll take it in the pocket and break it down. But if somebody's good at pressuring you, or if somebody's really skilled in the pocket, he'll tie you up. Yeah, he won't get in he's smart. He won't get in an exchange. He'll just smother you and tie you up and take it on the inside. But the guy has very few weaknesses, Joe, if any. I mean, he's got weaknesses. Probably I'd say is only weakness I've seen is he got hurt that one time against Gamboa, you know what I mean? But one of the top 3 fighters in the world, him, Lomachenko. They got Canelo, they got Inoue, and they got a few other guys up there that are real good fighters.
Well, I think his only maybe possible indictment is that maybe his balls are too big at times, where he likes to bang, and it's very sporting of him, but it doesn't make for an easier fight.
Well, I don't. No. I think he'll break it down from distance and range. Okay, Joe. But once he sees you slowing down, he'll take it in the pocket because he knows you're not going to throw. Okay, and then he'll break you down more and hurt you more, like he did with Jeff Warren, like he did with what's that guy's name? Al sent that guy over as an opponent. You know what I mean? John Molina.
Oh,
like that.
John Molina Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the rare times Al knows he couldn't do nothing with Molina, so hey, might as well just, pimp him over there to Aram and make a few bucks for him.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if his only chink in the armor is the inside game, well, he's not going to have very much of a threat against his potential opponent on November 14th, and that's Mr. Kell Brook, Special K. Guys, the special one, Mr. Chocolate Brownies, he's going to enter the ring at age 34. He fights out of the orthodox stance. He stands 5'9" tall in the center of the ring, fights behind a 69-inch reach from Sheffield, England. He has a very impressive record at 39 wins, 2 losses, both by knockout to Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence Jr., 0 draws, 27 big wins coming by way of knockout. What's there to like about Special K Kell Brook, Gogue?
Let me see. That he's punctual. He'll show up on time. He'll show up on time to the weigh-in. He'll show up on time to the fight. That's it. He's going to get his ass whooped, okay? All right? He's not the same fighter, Joe. Okay, Golovkin took a lot out of him, and Spence took a lot out of him. Then after that, he fought one time. He didn't look all that good. Yeah.
Well, actually, Gogue, he's fought 3 times, right? He's fought 3 times against very underwhelming, perfunctory opponents, as Jim Lampley would say, right? And they've all been at the junior middleweight level. He fought.
I only seen one of them, and he didn't look all that good. So, like I said,
I'm sure you're referring to that. Snoozer against Michael Zarafa in 2018 in December, right?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was a snoozer because I quit watching it after a few rounds.
Well, I tell you what does he have to do to be successful? What are his keys to victory against Bud Terence Crawford?
It ain't his keys to victory. Is what Crawford has got to not do, and that is not take care of business in training, not staying focused. You know what I mean? That's it. It's not him. He ain't gonna do shit. Crawford comes in 100%. Only way he gonna win is land a lucky punch and knock out Crawford and everything. You know what I mean? And pray that he hopes that Bomac, gives Crawford tequila shots between the rounds, get him drunk and everything. You know what I mean? He ain't going to do shit but get his ass whooped. Crawford comes in there like he usually does. Look, this game, like I said, Brook ain't got no inside game. He's going to fight everything from range, okay? He don't know how to fight in the pocket. All he does is grab and hold like a bitch. So if he tries to play chess with Crawford from the outside, oh Jesus, you're playing the Crawford strength. Crawford's gonna pick him apart, right-handed or left-handed. You know what I mean? Countering, boxing, whatever. You know what I mean? It's gonna be real easy work for Crawford. Brook,
wow,
you know, and
to be honest with you, I'm not even sure that Kell Brook can still make 147 pounds, Gogue. He hasn't made the welterweight limit since 2017. That's 3 years ago, Gogue. At age 34, can this guy still compete at 147?
His best days are gone, Joe. He's just going there to get He's just going in there to get a payday. That's why they're asking Aaron for all that money. They know they ain't got a chance in prayer to win. They're just going to try to cash him out.
In your opinion, besides Errol Spence, who actually poses the biggest threat against Bud Crawford?
Oh, the guy on the other side of the fence, that Spence. Yeah, them are the two top guys. That fight should have been made already. But it ain't Aaron, it's Al. He's the biggest obstructionist in boxing, okay? That fight should have been made already. Then again, Earl got in that bad accident and everything, so but that fight, like I said, all they do is talk nowadays, these fuckers, these motherfuckers. Talk. They never get fights done. They're full of shit. That's why I lost a lot of respect for this game, man. Because fighters ain't fighters like in the past. They made fights, no problem. Now, let's marinate it for 4 years. Let's talk about it and get everybody excited. Oh, they're full of shit. That's why, me, Joe, there's only a few fighters out there, I really, I got admiration for, but a lot of them, they're just full of shit.
Well, I tell you what, Spence made his, first, before we actually move forward, talking about the return of Errol Spence Jr. Slated for November 21st, the following weekend, your official prediction for Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook?
Joe, ask me how bad Kell Brook is going to get his ass whooped. Ask me.
How bad is he going to get his ass whooped?
Huh?
Tell me, brother, how bad is he going to get his ass whooped?
Real bad. That's my prediction. Okay?
And there you have it, guys. That's Gogue's, brief analysis of the potential fight between TC and Special K.
I can't think of nothing what he could do to beat Crawford. Okay? I said talk a good game. He talks a good game, but talk don't win it when you get in that ring. Okay? What can he do? Come on, Joe. Nothing.